sinabi ni Mr. Diskaya na agad-agad silang sinabihan na magsoli ka. Ang pinag-uusapan po dito, bago man lang makapagsabi ng ganon, kailangan munang makita kung ano ang gusto at kayang sabihin at patunayan ni Mr. Diskaya at ni Mrs. Diskaya doon sa kanilang salaysay.
Prosec
Pero
General.
hindi po sila nakikipag-ugnayan sa department, kaya hindi po sila mabigyan ng kaukulang proteksyon at hindi po ma-process yung kanilang application. So yung sinasabi po ni Mr. Diskaya, from the hearing of November 14 in the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, there was never a chance or an opportunity that Mr. Diskaya and or counsel even approach the department despite the proddings of the chairman.
Mr. Ano ba yung title mo? Mr. Prosecutor, Mr. PG na lang. Mr. PG, nung ako yung chairman pa dito, sila yung unang nag-apply. So, dahil kailangan nila ng protection, it was incumbent upon the chairman na sumulat sa Senate President to endorse yung kanilang application. That was the provision of law kasi. But even before they can do that, actually kasi nung sinasabi ko yon nung hearing, di ko naman alam mapapalitan na pala kami. Alam mo na yon, di ba? Yung araw din na yon, nag-press con na si Secretary of Justice. Narinig ko eh. Sabi niya, hindi po pwedeng ganon. I cannot apply. Hindi pwedeng basta-basta ganon na lang. And then the new Senate President based his judgment of not entertaining that application on the articulation of the Department of Justice. So, ang tinatanong ko nga sa inyo, hindi siya sinungaling. Ang mismong kayo ang nagbigay na ng condition kasi. Kaya sinasabi ko, if you insisted on the condition of restitution, how can Diskaya or any other persons similar to his situation even begin to apply under the WPP?
If I may respond, Mr. Chair. If I may refresh the memory of the good senator, during the last hearing of November 14, 2025, that matter that you raised about the statement made by the former Secretary of Justice was already put on the side when you asked that question. And we already informed the chairman that if they wish to file their application, if they wish to be processed, they go to the Department of Justice. Binanggit po yan, nasa transcripts po yan na sinasabi niyo, o sige, wala mo nang pag-uusapang restitution. But did they ever come to the department to coordinate with us? No, they did not. And let me just put it on record, sir, na hindi po ito question na kung sinong nauna na nagsalita. Hindi po ito question kung sino yung naunang nagbanggit ng napakaraming pangalan kung hindi rin naman nila kayang suportahan ng ebidensya at wala rin naman silang mabibigay na magpuprove o magpapatunay doon sa kanilang mga sinasabi. Yan po ang kailangan naming suriin.
I am sorry, Mr. Chair, he did not refresh my memory. Pinopulyut mo yung memory ko eh. Hindi siya nagpunta rito na sabihin niya na, okay, pumunta ka sa DOJ, huwag na muna nating pag-usapan ng restitution. Walang ganon. Nagpunta nga siya rito dito si DOJ Secretary din eh. O sabi ko, Boying, okay na ba yun? Papupunta. Di wala nang ano ha? Wala nang restitution ha? Basta papuntahin mo silang mag-asawa doon. Hindi ba nagpunta ka, Mr. Diskaya? Yung kinabukasan nung magkita kayo rito?
Mr. Diskaya, you may respond, but unfortunately, your time is up.
Your Honor, nung ano po, Your Honor, hindi po kami... yes po, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Sige.
proceed. Kasi tapos na yung time ni Senator Marcoleta.
Yes po, Your Honor. Opo.
Hindi nga, ipaliwanag mo.
Bali po, Your Honor, kasi po di pa po nagsalita po yung misis ko na
Hindi nga, ganito, wala na akong time eh. Pinapunta ka niya ron, kasi nandito nag-uusap kayo eh. O, kayong dalawang mag-asawa, punta kayo ron ng alas 9. Pumunta kayo, sinabi mo niya wala nang restitution?
Noong una po, wala pong sinabing may restitution, pero nung sumunod po, yung panghuli po naming usapan po is may restitution, magkano daw po ang i-restitute namin. Tapos kakasuhan din po daw kami at hindi didiinan. Pero gusto ko po, Your Honor, na hindi na po muna magsalita ng dire-diretso kasi po yung huli po yung misis ko na nagsalita siya na hindi daw po kami kasama sa WPP. Yung natatandaan ko po yung huling hearing po dito ay nakulong po yung misis ko sa Davao. Samantalang meron naman pong nag-exist na project. Kaya natatakot po ako, Your Honor, na baka pag nagsalita na rin po ako, baka po sa susunod po ako naman po ang makulong. Kaya hindi na po ako magsasalita.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, point of order before the next
Yes,
colleague.
Senator Risa.
Salamat,
You're
Mr.
recognized.
Chair. Pwede po bang malaman kung tulad ng iniutos ng chair nung nakaraang hearing, nag-submit na po sina Mr. and Ms. Diskaya nung buong listahan nila, ledger, ng mga proyekto nila kasama ang mga joint venture projects para sa mga taong 2016 hanggang 2022?
Your Honor, nung nakalabas po ako, Your Honor, nung nakaraan po, ay hindi po kami pinapasok halos ng mga taga City Hall. Kasi po yung mga taga City Hall po, pinasarado po nila yung office namin. Kasi po, nirevoke po nila yung business permit po namin dahil sa kakulangan po ng occupancy permit. So, nakiusap po kami sa City Hall na sana po papasukin po yung mga taga Senate Sergeant at Arms at ayaw po nila papasukin. At ngayon po, wala na po kaming empleyado. Lahat po sila ay iniwan na po kami o yung iba po ay separated na po kasi sarado na po yung kumpanya namin. Ganun din po yung mga nangungumpahan sa office po namin na building na pinauupahan ay wala na rin po sila doon. Kanya-kanya na po sila ng sara.
Mr. Chair, diretso lang po yung tanong ko pero hindi diretso yung sagot. Parang kanina, lahat po tayo physically naghitla dun sa sinabi ni Mr. Diskaya na parang sila pa yung nanakawan. I would like to request the good chair to please reiterate yung utos ng komite kina Mr. Diskaya. I-submit yung ledger na sinabi ni Ms. Diskaya noon, meron sila ng mga proyekto pati joint venture projects mula 2016 hanggang 2022. Huwag po nilang sisisihin ang City Hall. Hindi po yan kasalanan ng City Hall dahil subject yan ng utos ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Mr. Chair. Sabi rin po ng ating secretariat sa komite, nag-follow up po sila kina Mr. Diskaya last week. Pero hanggang ngayon po, 3:44 na po ng hapon. Almost 3 hours mula nung nagsimula tayo, hindi pa rin sila sumusunod sa utos ng Blue Ribbon, Mr. Chair.
Your Honor, makikiusap po sana ako na baka para mas kumpleto po yung project list po na makuha ninyo, baka po pwedeng isubpoena na lang po ang DPWS kasi may copy naman po sila kasi wala na po kami talagang mga empleyado na mag-aasikaso. Ako po nakakulong sa Senate po, yung misis ko naman nakakulong sa Davao.
Mr.
So wala po kami mautusan, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I will submit to the wisdom of the chair kung ano po yung pinakamabisang paraan. Ang hinahanap ko lang pong outcome ay mabigay ng mga ni na Mr. at Ms. Diskaya yung ledger nila na sinabi ni Ms. Diskaya mayroon sila nung mga joint venture and other projects nila mula 2016 hanggang 2022. Ewan ko ba, Mr. Chair, binabato pa nila sa DPWH yung responsibilidad sumunod sa utos ng Blue Ribbon, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Risa. We'll try to resolve that issue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator JB Ejercito is recognized.
Just a quick manifestation, Mr. President, with the permission of Senator.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, Mr. President, ako hindi nagtataka bakit hindi tinatanggap sa Witness Protection Program itong mga Diskaya. Dito lang sa Senado, hindi na kayo nagko-cooperate. Ito'y patunay na mukhang hindi kayo qualified maging witness. Kung sa Senado, hindi kayo nagko-cooperate, bakit kayo bibigyan ng puwang ng mga taga-WPP? For the record, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator JB.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Anyway, Mr. Chair, naalala ko po yung kasi na-focus masyado matagal yung pong notorious sa district office ng Bulacan, pero equally notorious is the Mindoro, no? Kaya I would like to thank the chair na sa request ko noon pa na sana si naging regional director Gerald Pacanan ay patawag at nandito na siya ngayon, no? At I would like to take advantage of his presence dahil matindi rin yung nangyari sa Mindoro. Although yung lugar na yun, mga lugar na pinaglagyan ng mga flood control projects, nauhan, mga swampy, mga river town na kahit na gaano karami semento ang ubusin dyan, hindi yata mawawala talaga ang baha dyan. No? So yan ang base sa ating unang impormasyon. Siguro tanong lang natin muna si Yusek Bernardo. Total, nandito na si Yusek Bernardo. Sinabi kasi ni Congressman Toby Tiangco na mayroong scheme sa lower house tungkol sa bentahan ng projects. No? Pwede nyo i-confirm. Sa iyong pagkakaalam, maaari nyo bang ipaliwanag sa amin kung paano ito nangyayari? Kasi dito sa Senado, wala naman kami nabaltaan na modus na naglalako o nagbebenta ng mga proyekto. Sino ba ang mga nagbabuy and sell ng projects ito? Ito ba yung mga tinatawag na contractor? So anyway, kayo po admitted na sa Witness Protection Program. Baka maaari nyo na rin ilahad sa atin dito sa committee ito kung paano po yung scheme na ito doon sa paglalako at pagbentahan ng proyekto.
Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to consult my lawyer po? Saglit lang po. Thank you po.
Please consult your lawyer.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, PG Padulan.
Sir, in answer to the question raised by good Senator J.V. Estrada, the question, J.V. Ejercito, the question refers to matters which are considered confidential at this time because we need to secure a written authority coming from the Secretary of Justice. But if the Secretary will allow and give that authority, Mr. Chair, we would like to request that it be done in an executive session, if possible.
Okay, probably if there will be a next hearing, I hope that you can already ask the Secretary of Justice, the authority, about this matter that I'm raising. Because this is very important because I think this will give us a better appreciation of the whole picture on how this scheme was really done.
We'll do that, Mr. Chair. We will raise the matter to the Secretary of Justice and try to secure that authority from him.
Can we secure the authority from the DOJ Secretary now? Because I also have questions to be addressed to Yusek Bernardo because we want to confront the others who were also implicated during the last hearing or hearings, namely Undersecretary Olivar, Maynard Ngu, and the others. So hindi maka-clarify dito sa hearing. You see, this is the first time that we have Yusek Olivar and the others, including Ms. Carlene Yap Villa, nandito rin. So mawawala ng saysay yung hearing ngayon kung maghihintay at wala rito si Secretary Vida. Can we secure the authority from him now so we can ask questions pertaining to those people implicated earlier by Undersecretary Bernardo?
We will do that, Mr. Chair.
Thank
we
you.
will get in touch with the Secretary of Justice.
May
now, sir.
before anything else, Mr. Chairman, contributory to what you are saying, dito po sa Blue Ribbon, lilinawin ko lang, this is in aid of legislation. Di pa kami, hindi porque may hinahanap kami nila Senator Ejercito na ang chairman namin ay tungkol sa mga listahan ni ganito at ni ganyan. We're not after personalities here. What we're after is a way to find a legislation that will prevent this from happening again. Over the years, it has happened. It has escalated into 2025. So ang hinahanap po namin, sa tulong din po ninyo, makakita kami ng mga pamamaraan para mailagay natin, maisabatas natin na hindi na maulit ito. We're not after the names of people, personalities. Pag lumitaw, lumitaw. Pero ang inatanong namin, yung pamamaraan paano nangyayari ito upang wag nang mangyari muli. Ganun po yun. Salamat.
We completely understand that, Mr. Chair, and that is the reason why we will get in touch with the Secretary of Justice. And also, with your indulgence, the only reason why we are bringing this issue of confidentiality is because it is cited in the law itself. And I believe that the witness who is covered is just mindful of the fact that it has penal sanctions if in the event disclosures are made without authority from the Secretary.
We also understand. That's why you have to wait for that authorization.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, dito na, hindi na executive. Mr. Chair, I just received word that the Secretary of Justice has given that verbal authority. The written authority will follow, so I think questions pertaining to the ones which Senator JB was asking earlier could already be answered.
Okay, that settles it. Senator JB, you can continue.
So, Yusek Bernardo can now answer the question given that the Secretary of Justice already gave the authority. Siguro pwede niyo nang sagutin kung totoo nga ba yung yung paglalako ng proyekto. Paglalako at pagbebenta ng proyekto. Yung buy and sell, no? Nangyayari ba yan sa Senado o doon lang sa kabilang bahay?
Mr. Chair, ang pagkakaalam ko po, pagka po mayroong ganito, ay the proponent ask, of course, the help of the regional directors and district engineers about projects to be released in their own districts or regions. So after that po, meron pong pinaka-proponent at itatawag doon. Pagka po tinawag doon at sasabihin na ito yung may nag-release ng proyekto. So with that po, doon po nagsisimula yon. Kung sino yung nag-release, we respect po the authority of the ones who released the project. Na sinasabi po namin na siguro sila yung, kumbaga sila po yung nagpa-release ng proyekto, sila po yung may karapatan sa proyekto. So ganun po yung scheme noon na kumbaga, pagka po merong DE na kinausap or regional director, of course, I won't mention names po sa ganitong pamamaraan, but pag kinausap po sila, meron po mga lalapit na proponent dyan. At considering po na pagkamalayo po yung mga proponent, halimbawa, meron pong napagbigyan na contractor na malayo at meron po sa locality na gustong kumuha ng proyekto, yun po ang kinakausap po yung DE or yung director na sila na po ang gagawa doon. Yun po, ganun po, Mr. Chair.
So ito po yung tungkol sa allocables, no? Kasi Yusek Bernardo, nung nakaraang hearing dito, doon lang namin narinig sa Senado yung allocables eh. Si Senator Pangilinan, alala ko, Senator Legarda, na mga veterano na. Hindi rin nila alam kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng allocable at pinagpaliwanag pa namin si the late Yusek Cabral. So ito ba yung allocable na ito, yung termino na ginagamit lamang doon sa mga may distrito? Kung ano po yung pwedeng, yung allocable ba? Ito ba yung inaalok o ito yung pwedeng... Hindi ko alam kung ano yung allocable eh. So tama po ba na itong termining ito confined to the other house sa mga contractors?
Sa pagkakaalam ko po, Mr. Chair, yung pong tinatawag naming allocable started in 2022 when the new secretary was having problems about the releases of each district. Kasi nga po, wala pong basihan at wala pong kumbaga pattern kung paano po magre-release ng proyekto. So, yun nga po, that started with the formula of Yusek Cabral wherein she considered yung mga factors po na magde-determine po kung magkano talaga yung ma-release sa kada distrito. So yun po, pagka po sinabing allocable, the allocable of the engineering district po, yung pong kada distrito, bibigyan po nito ng corresponding allocation sa NEP na sasabihin po ng department, sasabihin po ng... But of course, it's after the meetings po ng RDC, projects are submitted as wish list, and then later on po, the planning will just tell us the operations kung magkano po yung pondo kada distrito, dina-download po namin, and that will be the basis of submissions of every district or every region po.
Salamat, Yusek Bernardo, kasi malaking bagay yan. Gaya nga nasabi ni Senate President Tito Soto, we are here in aid of legislation para nga hindi na maulit itong nangyaring modus. That's why we want to know the modus itself para hindi na ito maulit muli. Si Engineer RD Gerald Pakanan. RD, Sir Pakanan, total nandito ka na rin lang, no? Nung mga presentation ni Governor Dolor, nandito kami, kilala niyo si Governor Dolor? RD?
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair and the distinguished honorable senators of the Senate. Yes po, I confirm I know Governor Dolor.
Nakakausap niyo po siya dahil kayo po ang regional director naging provincial director ba kayo or RD na kayo ng Region 4B?
I am the regional director po, Your Honor.
So
Mr.
nakakausap niyo po siya?
I confirm that nakakausap ko siya as a regional director of the Region 4B
Kasi
on
po
my official capacity po.
Kasi nung hearing po dito, nag-present po siya, pinakita niya yung mga ghost projects at substandard projects, no? Particularly dyan sa Oriental Mindoro, sa Nauhan, na nabanggit ko kanina, ito ay talagang swampy, talagang siguro mas familiar ka doon na itong area to, talagang matubig, no? Do you confirm na itong area to talagang mababa at matubig?
Your Honor, can I confirm with my lawyer before I answer? Yes, Your Honor, I confirm that that particular river is really swampy, and the flood is.
Kumbaga kahit na anong lagay ng ilang semento ay buhos natin dyan, talagang hindi natin matatanggal ang baha dyan. Mismo alam ko, naalala ko noon, then Secretary of DOJ, si Ombudsman na, nagsabi na swampy town daw yung no, sa investigasyon nila, yung Nauhan. Tama ho ba?
Senator JB, excuse me. Matanong ko lang, bakit ba kayo nakatalukbong? Hindi naman kayo testigo. Matanong ko lang, bakit po kailangan naka-hood kayo at saka nakatakip?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, because this might set a precedent for all other witnesses we will call here. They will request that their faces be covered. He is a public government employee. Bakit siya nagtatago?
And a resource person, not a witness.
That was the question I was raising kanina, Mr. Chair. Hindi pala tayo nagkaintindihan. Bakit na nakatakip yung mukha ni Ginoong Pakanan?
Akala ko naman, si Maria sa si Joy.
Your Honor, it's my request po as the good chair stated a while ago for my protection po. And security po.
Pero nasa kulungan ka na ngayon, you're in detention right now, di ba? Aren't you in detention already?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, I don't see the basis for his request. I do not see it as valid. How can he? Maybe he's protecting himself from shame. Baka nahihiya siya dun sa mga kasamahan niya o kung sino kaya ayaw maipakita yung kanyang
Ano
mukha.
talaga ang dahilan bakit kayo nakatakip? Ako, nakita ko lang isang posibleng dahilan. Baka sa future mga police lineup, makilala kayo. Is that it? Or any other reason?
The main reason, Mr. Chair, I am begging the indulgence of all the good senator for my protection since the case is still is already pending before the Sindigan-Bayan and there's no judgment over it. So I'll be incriminated by whatever action against me.
So, natatakot ka na baka ito, public hearing, merong makakilala sa'yo at magreklamo pa laban sa'yo dahil nakilala ka? Ganun ba yun?
No, Your Honor. In fact, Your Honor, andito po ako to honor your subpoena.
Yeah, I know that.
Opo.
Ang tanong namin, hindi yung presence mo, bakit ka tama si Senator Pangilinan, ano? It could set a bad precedent. Baka lahat ng witnesses namin, resource person, nakatalukbong. At hindi namin papayagan, unfair yun.
Your Honor, I will comply naman po kung ano po ang sasabihin.
I think,
ninyo.
that's the ruling of the chair. Kindly expose your face. Please continue, Senator JB.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Gaya na kanina sabi ko, RD, no? RD Pakanan. Nagpunta rito si Governor Bonsdulor, may presentation siya. Pinakita niya yung mga substandard at ghost projects doon sa region or sa kanyang probinsya. At nagkausap daw kayo dahil yung kanyang ito nireklamo. Ang sabi mo raw kay Governor Dolor ay merong kasing porsyento na napupunta sa taas kaya nagiging ghost project o naging substandard ang ilang proyekto sa iyong nasasakupan. Tama ko ba yan?
Honor, again, I could confirm my lawyer before answering it. Your Honor, with the guidance of my lawyers, first, hindi po totoo yun. Secondly, Governor Dolor is also a witness against me. So there's a pending case already filed against me. So it will be incriminating on my part. So I respectfully, Your Honor.
So yung sinasabi mo, yung sinasabi ni Governor Dolor ay hindi totoo. Sinabi mo na una na hindi totoo yung sinabi niya.
Your Honor, again, I am invoking my constitutional right, respectfully invoking my constitutional right.
So yung sinabi niya na sinabi mo raw na may 25% na napupunta sa taas, 5% para sa parking fee at 12% na iba pang nadadaanan para sa proyekto. So ibig sabihin 42% na ang napupunta sa kickback sa yung region, 48% na lang na ititira sa project mismo. So yan yung kanyang computation na nanggaling daw sa'yo. Sagutin, siguro pwede mo sagutin ito. Nasa sa'yo yan. Pero yan ang kanyang nilahad na nangyayari kaya nagkakaroon ng ghost at mga substandard projects doon po sa Oriental Mindoro.
Mr. Chair, again, there's already a pending case before the Sandigan Bayan. I am respectfully invoking my right against self-incrimination.
Okay. But anyway, you can continue to refuse, no? Kasi, pero sabi mo nga sub judice na yan, pero gusto ko lang tanungin, dahil ito yung nanggaling po kay Governor Dolor at sinasabing ito po yung alam nyo, no? Lahat ba ng proyekto sa inyong rehiyon ay ganyan ang hatian? 25% sa proponent, 5% parking fee at 12% para sa iba pang opisyal ng DP.
Again, Your Honor, I respectfully invoke my right.
Well, sa akin lang, Mr. Chair, this is a legislative inquiry. No? I just don't know kung talagang sub judice po ito, pero we want to find out the modus. In the same manner that nung una pong sumalang ang district, First District of Engineering District ng Bulacan, inalam natin yung modus at yung proseso para malaman natin na hindi na ito maulit. Pero sige po, hanggat ngayon, parang nabaliwalay yung pagpunta rito dahil ayaw nyo sumagot. Pero just the same, para lang alam ng publiko na ito ay nanggaling sa gobernador mismo ng Oriental Mindoro at sinabi na ito po ang modus na nangyari. Kaya nagkaroon ng maraming substandard projects doon po sa kanyang lugar. Mr. Chair, Congressman Toby Tiangco testified before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee on September 8 that Congressman Saldico was the proponent of about 3.5 billion worth of GN-funded flood projects in 2025 for Oriental Mindoro. Lumabas na naman sa balita na halos SunWest at Hi-Tone ni Saldico ang kontraktor ng mga proyekto sa probinsya ng Oriental Mindoro. Sa mga nalalaman natin na mga modo sa Bulacan Engineering District, gusto ko lang tanungin kung may direct po ba kayong linya, RD Gerard Pacanan, kay Congressman Saldico para maipasok ang mga project sa region nyo. Dahil kayong RD, nasabi nyo na rin kanina, na bilang inyong, dahil kayo po ay on official capacity, nakakausap nyo yung mga kailangan makausap dyan. So nakakausap nyo ba't meron ba kayong direct ng linya kay Congressman Saldico?
Your Honor, again, Saldico is also an accused and there's a pending case. So I respectfully invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Pero po yung SunWest Corporation at yung pong Hi-Tone Construction Corporation, ito po ang majority na nakakuha ng proyekto sa inyong region. No, ilang bilyon po ang kanilang nakuha mga proyekto na na-identified na kung hindi substandard ay ghost. So, pamilyar ka ba sa High Tone Corporation, Construction Corporation at Sunwest Corporation?
Again, Your Honor, those construction firm are also subject of the case. And again, I respectfully invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, kaya ako po tinatanong to, no? Dahil gusto natin malaman kung ganito ba yung pare-parehong nangyayaring scheme. Ganito yung nangyari sa First Engineering District sa Bulacan. Ayaw lang sumagot ni RD Pacana, pero mukhang ganito rin sa Mindoro. At siguro, just for the record, Mr. Chair, may ilang distrito na biglang lumobo from the NEP. For example, Occidental Mindoro, yung pong NEP nila ng 2025, 2.533 billion. Yung GAA, naging 20.99 billion. So, almost 17.5 billion ang inangat. Yung Oriental Mindoro, from 1.5 billion NEP 2025, yung GAA po naging 20.795 billion. So halos from 1.5 billion to 20.7 billion. Ito pong nasasakupan. Meron pa, Southern Mindoro, from 1.4 billion, naging 8.999 billion. So RD Pakanan, ito po yung mga district engineering office na nasasakupan mo, Occidental Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, and Southern Mindoro. Tama ho ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Do you confirm na ganito kalaki ang nilobon from National Expenditure Program na tagto 2.5 billion, 1.5 billion, naging more than 20 billion yung bawat distrito? Alam niyo ba ito?
I cannot categorically confirm because I don't have the exact figure, Your Honor. I mean, Mr. Chair.
So saan paano nyo hindi, pero alam nyo, ito yung inyong distrito, pwede nyo bang i-recall yan sa susunod? Subukan nyo po na, kung alam nyo po na ganun ang nilobo ng inyo pong mga distritong hawak, na ganun kalaki. Bakit ho ganun kalaki? Alam nyo, hindi ba kayo nagtataka na napakalaki? Buti kung, Mr. Che, kung nadagdagan lang ng halimbawa, 1.5 billion, nadagdagan ng ilang daang milyon, pero ito, from 1.5 billion to 20 billion. From 2 billion, 2.5 billion to 20.999 billion. Hindi ba kayo nagtaka? Bakit ganun?
Mr. Chair, first po, kaming DPWH po is just an implementing agency po. So, whatever funds po na nasa GAA, we will implement it po.
Sige po. Ano
Mr.
yung...
Chairman,
Yes,
bago mo
Alfred, the
bago
President.
mo iwanan,
Senate President recognized.
yes, bago mo iwanan yun. So sa NEP yan, Your Honor, sa NEP yung 1-point-something billion.
Yes, Mr. Senate President, yung Occidental Mindoro, 2.53 billion. Oriental Mindoro is 1.508 billion. Southern Mindoro is 1.472 billion.
Sa NEP yan.
Sa NEP po. Apo.
Okay, pagdating sa GAA,
Yung Occidental
20 billion
Mindoro,
na.
naging 20 billion na ho. Dalawang 20 billion at isang 8.9 billion.
saan, anong year yan? 2025. Oh, ito nga, ito last year's budget. Ang tanong, saan nangyari yan? Sa GAB ng House, sa GAB ng Senate, o sa BICAM? Would the DPH be able to answer that? You were Secretary of DPWH then, former Secretary Bonoan. So yung NEP, alam mo yung NEP, yun yung, saan nangyari na pagdating sa'yo sa GAA, 20 billion na yung mga proyektong yun?
Yes, Your Honor. We noted that actually, that after the GAA has been passed, actually yun ang allocation nila.
Yung nga, insertion, congressional insertion. Would you know kung sa BICAM o kung saan nangyari yan?
Sa akin lang, Mr. Chair, I think because when we presented the budget sa NEP to House, nakapasa. Pumunta kami sa Senate, NEP pa rin po yung pinasa namin.
Yun pa rin.
Yung pa rin, nakapasa. But
So
then
sa BICAM,
after the BICAM, ganun na po yung...
Sa BICAM na dagdag. Ayun. Ayun ang what we were trying to prevent from happening in 2026 and in the future. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator
our Senate
JV,
President.
ano lang, makabat in lang, and I'd like to get the opinion of the DOJ. RD Pacanya, if you think your testimony will be indispensable to convict the more guilty personalities, have you considered applying to be a witness? And I'd like to get the opinion of the DOJ kung too late na ba si Gerard Pacanya to apply kasi nasa korte na yung kanyang kaso. Pakanan.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, this is a case which was handled and investigated by the Office of the Ombudsman. So we are not privy to the details. But if the question is if he can still apply under
No,
the
policy question. Not necessarily pertaining to him.
if a witness is already charged in court, he can still avail of the opportunity to be discharged as a state witness. But this will have to be done under a different manner. This will be done by discharge under Rule 119 of the Rules of Court. And this will have to be with the court's approval. Yung discharge po yung sa amin po kasi under the Witness Protection Program, drop ka na kaagad sa information po.
Correct. And the court, it is up to the court to discharge him
Yes, Your
as,
Hon- yes.
as a state witness.
Yes, Mr. Chair. A motion will have to be filed by the prosecution asking for the discharge with the court, and then the court will evaluate the statement of the applicant.
And more often than not, basta in-applyan ng or pinetition ng prosecutor, more often than not, ina-approve ng korte, di ba?
Meron
Pero your
ho-
experience,
Yeah, from my experience, Mr. Chair, as a general rule, yes, but there are also certain instances when the court refuses.
so I think that's something that you have to think about, ano? Director, RD. If you're willing. Kasi ang habol natin dito, the more guilty. No? Kasi kung less guilty siya, at the outset, he may qualify to be discharged. Ano? Of course, the court will decide. So think it over. Unless you want to continue to cover up for anybody or desidido ka ng labanan yung kaso mo.
Mr. Chairman, just a manifestation very quickly.
Can he answer first?
Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, I appreciate your concern. Very much appreciated po. But I have to confer with my lawyers.
Sleep over it. Sleep over it.
Yeah. Thank you po.
Senator Pangilinan.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, he's again covering his face. Can we instruct the resource person to remove his mask and the headgear? Let's respect the Senate, not the senators. The Senate is an institution. Thank you. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, if I may continue. Tanong ko lang, no, since this is in aid of legislation, ang notorious talaga na nalaman natin talaga yung First Engineering District sa Bulacan and itong Region 4B under Pakanan. Siguro, tanong ko lang kay Yusek Bernardo, ito bang, kasi may mga ilang distrito na nabanggit ko, no, titignan mo, ang lilit ng NEP nila, biglang lolobo. No? May nangyari sa Sibuyan, meron din sa ibang probinsya, na mukhang doon nagkaroon ng parking na tinatawag. So, pareho-pareho ba itong scheme na ito nangyari doon in selected districts doon na talagang lumobo? Ganito rin ba nangyari? At nandito ba yung mga substandard and ghost projects?
Mr. Chair, tungkol po sa substandard projects, I cannot, wala po akong masasabi doon kasi doon po sa kalakaran ng binabanggit ko sa inyo kanina na meron pong nagbebentahan o nag-aalok ng proyekto, nangyayari po yun, yun ang pagkakaalam ko. But definitely doon po sa substandard or ghost projects, wala na po akong kwan doon hindi na po nasusubaybayan. I think even the proponent themselves cannot track the implementation of the projects. Kasi nga po, basta na-release lang po yung pondo, meron na pong, kumbaga, nagkakaroon na po ng transaction doon, basta po na-release na yung pondo. So, whether naging ghost po yun or hindi or what, yung pong proponent or whoever, maaari po ay hindi na po nila alam yun. po, Mr. Chair.
So sige, huli na lang. RD, no, bago ko iwanan to, no, I still have 3 minutes. Yung high tone and yung high tone construction and Sunwest, no, familiar ka dahil ulitin ko lang, familiar ka dito sa dalawang construction corporate. Kasi karamihan or bulk, the majority of the big projects na nakakuha sa iyong region ay sa dalawang korporasyon na ito. Familiar ka sa dalawa?
Your Honor, familiar ako because they are part of the top 15. But again, Your Honor, since that contractor is also the subject of the pending case against me, I respectfully invoke my right against self-incrimination.
Okay na yan. Basta alam mo, siyempre familiar ka. Alam mo rin ba na kay itong pag-aari ni Saldico ito? You may or may not answer, pero alam mo bang ito yung
No, Your
pag-aari
Honor.
ni Congressman Saldico?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anyway, siguro po tayo, I'll just reserve the others for my second round. Pero yung po sa wrong coordinates total na pag-usapan kanina, siguro pwedeng sagutin ni Yusek Bernardo, Yusek Bisnar. So ito po ay sadya at this was deliberate para po maitago ba yung mga ghost projects or substandard? Ito ba ano ba ang rason bakit nagkaroon ng deliberate submission of wrong coordinates?
Mr. Chair, again po, no, whether it was deliberate or not, we cannot really answer on behalf of the ones who submitted. Ito po ay mga naabutan lang po namin. Ang amin lang pong ginawa ay yung factual by checking the coordinates and yung actual na location. But as to the intention in submitting, we cannot answer po, Mr. Chair.
So kanina nabanggit nyo, no? So just to confirm, ilan po yung projects na confirmed na sa buong investiga nyo, ilan lang yung ghost and lodged under wrong coordinates? Ilan yung total? Pwede rin si Yusek Besnar, parang siya yung
Mr. Chair, we will have to await the final number from the ICI, no, until we finish this validation. Again po, we are still finalizing the list. Ayaw po namin magbitaw na salita na baka mamaya po ay makuryente po kami. So we are finalizing and within, as soon as practicable, we will release the list with the corresponding results of wrong coordinates and ghost projects, Mr. Chair.
So, paano po yung iba ron? May mga nandun din sa list ng wrong coordinates na, kumbaga, lehitimo o legit na proyekto na meron delivery. Doon sa mga hindi ghost, no? Of course, meron, wala kayong idea kung ilang % ang na-deliver or legitimate projects?
Yung percent po, we have the numbers po, Mr. Chair. Kaya lang po, ayaw po namin munang ibitawan. Baka nga po subject of validation pa. But within that figure, meron pong mga nandun yung structure sa PCMA coordinates. Meron din po talaga na ibang coordinates. Wala po sa parehas. Opo.
So, ibig sabihin nito, no, Mr. Chair, hindi naman sa inaano natin yung mga contractors na may mga dadamay dito, mga lehitimong contractor na meron delivery na nasama po dito dahil nga po ginulo nila kung sino man ang nagpasa ng mga wrong coordinates, may mga nadadamay dito, mga lehitimo at yung mga merong delivery at meron pong projects na nagawa.
Possibly, Mr. Chair. However, meron po kasi ding proseso on the paglipat po ng coordinates. So we will have to check. Yun din po yung subject of validation kapag nga po nasunod sa proseso yung kanilang paglipat ng coordinates at hindi po sila nagpapalusot lang na nagtuturo ng ibang proyekto.
The reason I ask, Mr. Chair, or I bring this issue up, of course, we are for the reforms. Itong gusto natin matuntong kung sino talaga yung may mga